Far more than we think. Making Sense of Spirituality by Angelo. Chapter 43. Daily Practice. In my view, spiritual practice does not require us to go to church or sing hymns. Spirituality is not about religion, nor does it demand any ritualistic devotion or worship. These religious things can be part of our practice if we like, but they're not necessary. All we need to do is to commit to a path of spiritual growth and build our lives around a simple set of principles and daily routines. We do this not because we have to, but because we want to embrace all that life has to offer. The chapter headings again provide the summary. Chapter 35. Practice makes perfect. Meditation is our time to devote to our own growth. Meditation is an act of self-love that we are entitled to and indeed deserve. Practice makes perfect, but we will never be perfect, of course. The spiritual practice of meditation will, however, gradually take us in this direction, whatever our starting point may be. Chapter 36. Meditation maketh man. Individual spirituality really does matter because it sends out ripples of love into the ocean of humanity. Meditation and prayer are the universal solution to many of our problems. Daily meditation and prayer are the keys that open the door to the hidden treasure and to a more blissful and purposeful life. Daily spiritual practice really changes lives. Chapter 37. Good Vibrations. Love is a positive and powerful vibration. The more we choose to act with love, the more wonderful our experience of life will become. As we give to the world on a daily basis, so the world will give to us. We choose love and forgiveness every time, not because we have to, but because we want to. When we do this, we light up the world with our innate vibrational brilliance. This, I believe, is what we were born to do. Chapter 38. Chakras can. Blockages and weaknesses in our energy systems give rise to a multitude of mental and physical health issues. Practices widely believed to be beneficial to our chakras include affirmations, chakra music, yoga, tai chi, qigong, crystals, emotional freedom techniques, neuro-linguistic programming and meditation. Spiritual practice that is cognizant of our energy systems will prove beneficial to our well-being and growth. Chapter 39. Alt Control Delete. We have already been brainwashed by our experiences in life. Binaural beat technology has spawned a range of brainwave entrainment products that help reprogram the mind with a more positive outlook. If there's any aspect of our lives that's not going as we would like it to, instead of tolerating it and suffering the consequences or struggling to find a solution, we can always reboot and allow the system to self-correct. Alt Control Delete will put us back on our feet. Chapter 40. Karma Chameleon. We can focus on transmitting good karma to everyone, not only because they deserve it as fellow human beings, but because we deserve the positive consequences that our behaviour will inevitably bring. The karma chameleons are not authentic and are likely to bring upon themselves that which they are truly thinking. Conversely, the spiritual person with good karma is more likely to experience all that is good in the world, because generally we do reap what we sow. Chapter 41. Much Ado About Nothing. Focusing our time on activities that really benefit our karma is far more beneficial than chasing materialistic or self-indulgent pipe dreams. Spiritual practice is not selfish, and being of service is not a sacrifice. We help others by helping ourselves, and we help ourselves by helping others. Providing unconditional love to others is ironically the most beneficial thing we can do for our own growth and enjoyment of life. And chapter 42, the driving test. Our ego-driven willpower will give us determination in life, but the practice of spirituality will lead us gently to self-determination. Life is one big test, but with spirituality as our driving force, it can be an enlightening journey. The driving test will always help to steer us in the right direction. So the key to spiritual growth is daily practice. There's nothing to stop us from doing it other than our own reluctance to change. The suggestions above can be summarized as daily meditation and prayer, thinking loving thoughts, working to unblock chakras, being nice to people, being of service to others, and watching our own behaviours to identify areas for improvement. I spent half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening on meditation and prayer, and a number of hours per week in service. The rest of the practice is in the moment and part of everyday life. That's all there is to it. It really is that simple to score the equivalent of a home run. However, if we want to win the game, we have to be on the field of play and not just watching enviously from the sidelines and wishing we could do what others do. In the first 3 sections of this book, I've tried to make the case for spirituality as a way of life. This 4th section sets out just one suggested way of how to go about it. There are many other ways, but the key will always be action rather than thinking. Reading a book and understanding the problem will not produce a solution. If nothing changes, nothing will change. And trying to force change upon ourselves will not work effectively either. The spiritual way is to put in the action and trust that things will change in their own time. All that's required for spiritual growth is action and faith. Having experienced some spiritual growth myself, after many years of depression and stagnation, I find that my attitude and behaviour towards almost all aspects of my life has changed beyond recognition. My thinking is now often the polar opposite of what it used to be, and I'm far more comfortable with what I do think now, because it all makes much more sense. Instead of blindly following the crowd and accepting the norms, I instead have a personal spiritual model that gives me a clear framework to apply in any aspect of my life. I've been very fortunate to have had the time to invest in this period of change, and I appreciate that others may not have this luxury. Nevertheless, I do believe that any of us can change through daily spiritual practice. This next section is my attempt to explain how the world now looks through this new and rather wonderful pair of spiritual spectacles. Much of what I have to say will probably sound a bit hypocritical, given my background and the circumstances of my life, but nevertheless my thoughts are sincere. The truth is simply that I have allowed my mind to be changed through regular practice, and subsequently I have changed my mind.